Hey guys, this is Mark. I'm the creator of Aimsworx, and today's instructional video is going to be going over spinal self-care for chiropractic patients at home. So a lot of people who do the spinal self-care with Aimsworx, they're going to need extra head support if their posture is really bad. Meaning if they have really far forward head posture, when we lay back on the foam rollers, we're going to need a little bit extra neck support to make everything feel comfortable. So to start out for the thoracic mobility sequence, you have two horizontal foam rollers underneath your knees, one vertical foam roller vertically stacked down your spine. For my neck support, I'll recommend to either use just some hand towels. I really like these because you can determine how thick of a layer of support you need. You can also use a couch pillow if you feel like that's more comfortable and necessary for you. I'm going to show you with the hand towels. So as you lay back, we're going to bend our knees, lift our hips, replace the foam rollers underneath our hips, and then we'll place the hand towel. Now if you have a partner to do this for you, it is a little more helpful, but you can definitely do it on your own. So once the head is comfortably supported, we will go through the sequence. You want to make sure your tailbone is on the roller closest to your feet, so make any adjustments that you need. Second roller supports your hips. To start out the thoracic mobility sequence, we're going to do a figure 4 fold over. So I want you to take your right ankle, fold it over your left knee. So we're in this figure 4 position. And then what we're going to do is we're going to rotate our knees and hips side to side, big range of motion. Go 5 rotations each direction. As we're doing this, we get a nice massage for our glutes side to side, and we get a nice massage straight down our shoulder blades. We also really get that big thoracic chest open and the rotational mobility that we're looking for. Let's bring our feet back to center. We'll switch out our legs. Next set of the figure 4 fold over, left ankle over right knee, arms out wide. If you feel like your arms get tingly at all, just bring them down towards your hips and that'll solve that problem. As we get set up and ready, you want to rotate side to side, allowing that big range of motion to stretch through your ribs, massage your spine, and massage your glutes. Remember to really use your breath to feel that stretch all through our spine. All right, now we're going to come back to center. You can make any adjustments you need with the rollers or with your head support. And we're going to move on to windshield wipers. So for windshield wipers, you want to come in a reverse tabletop position, meaning stack your knees on top of your hips. Lower leg is bent at a 90-degree angle, and it's a small range of motion this time, staying in between 10 and 2 on a clock. And that helps keep the pressure on our tailbone. So again, we rotate side to side for that gentle massage in our glutes. And we also feel that nice massage straight down our spine in between our shoulder blades. All right, feet down to the ground. Adjust the rollers in your hips if you need at all. And we'll get set up for the last part of the thoracic mobility sequence. So you're going to straighten out your legs. This is going to be 4-way hips. So working with your right knee first, bring your right knee up to your chest. We're going to go across your body to the left. Then you're going to bring your right knee outside your ribs to the right. Extend that foot long. Return back to the ground. We'll do 4 more. So it's up with the knee, across your body, outside your body, extend and return. First one, we're going to stretch your hamstring. We're going to stretch your outer hip. We're going to stretch that inner thigh and back to the ground. You got 1 more. Up, across, outside, extend and return. All right, you can make any adjustments that you need. And now we will work with the left leg. So both legs are straight. Now it's that left knee comes up, goes across your body to the right, stretches outside your ribs to the left, extend that foot long and return. We're up, we're across, outside, extend and return. Do a couple more here. Knee comes up, stretch the hamstring, roll out, stretch your outer hip. Knee comes outside the ribs, stretch that inner thigh and return. You got one more at your own pace. Coming up and across, outside, extend, and return. Okay, so now we're going to bend our knees, come back to center, lift your hips up, push the foremolars back to your feet, butt comes to the ground as we sit up and we get ready to move on to the decompression. Moving to the decompression sequence next, we're going to have 2 vertically stacked foam rollers down your spine, 1 horizontal foam roller underneath your knees. Now for this technique, for people who have really bad forward head posture or kyphosis, or just in general not a very healthy spine, you're definitely going to need to use the neck support. There's a little bit of test and feel to this decompression. As you lay back, you want the vertical foam rollers as low on your spine as you can. Now, what we'll do is as you lay back, using the head support, if you can comfortably relax here, then we can continue with the sequence. If it feels like it's too much pressure and a little bit painful, go ahead and sit up using your arms to assist, and we're going to adjust the vertical foam rollers up your spine a little. So this is a key part to the decompression. We need to find out where your healthy starting point is, and you use the rule of breath and your own sense of pain to determine what's comfortable for you. So as you lay back, and now we're relaxing here, it should not be as much of a stretch in that lower spine. Now if you feel comfortable having the vertical foam rollers all the way to your low back, you choose that starting position, and we'll get to work on the decompression sequence. So as I lay back, now my head support is in place. If you feel like you're off center, just try and adjust your body so you lay down the middle. And we'll get started with the decompression sequence. So first, just relax. Feel that stretch along your spine. First move is going to be a straight leg bridge. So you want to gently lift your hips up and go right back down. Hips come up and down. You want to make these moves as gentle as possible. Up and down. One more time, up and down. Now bend your knees to 90 degrees. Lift your hips up. Replace the foam roller underneath your butt, and we'll get set up to march. So as you march, one knee up at a time, we're going to gently massage our tailbone up and down, and we're also pushing on our spine to unwind any rotations. Now we'll switch to a bent leg bridge. Legs stay bent. I'm going to lift my hips up, push the foam roller back to my feet, and let my butt come all the way to the ground. This is going to be the biggest stretch with the bent leg bridge. So I gently tuck up and down, just a few inches off the floor. I don't want you to lift all the way up and use those muscles in your lower back. So the more gentle we are, the more we work with the fascia instead of the muscle. So as you lift up and relax, up and down, we provide that good decompression. Now you're going to straighten your legs, make sure the foam roller is underneath your knees, and we will sit up. All right? So that is all for that round. We're going to end up doing 4 or 5 sets, however much you have time for at home. So now adjust the foam rollers a couple inches behind you, towards the wall that's behind you as we move up your spine. And you're going to lay back, and we're going to repeat that process. You can adjust your head support if you need, and try to make sure you feel like you're in the center of the foam rollers. Breath in, breath out. Big breath in. As you exhale, lift your hips up and down, hips up and down. Feeling that stretch and massage each time. Now go ahead and bend your knees to 90 degrees. Lift your hips up, and we want to replace the foam roller underneath our butt as we get prepared to march. So again, we're marching one knee up at a time. Good. And we want to make sure the roller horizontally does not support at our hips, but actually supports lower right at our glutes and tailbone. After we move on from marching, it's bent leg bridge. Lift the hips up, push the roller back to your feet, butt comes all the way down. Gently tuck up and down, up and down. Feeling that stretch and traction, that stretch and decompression each time. Now straighten your legs, make sure the foam roller is underneath your knees, and we'll go ahead and sit up. All right, working for 2 more rounds. Adjust the foam rollers away from your spine. So now we're choosing a spot that's higher up on our vertebrae. And you're gonna lay back. Make sure to adjust the head pad as much as you need. And we will repeat. So now lift the hips up and down. Try not to activate your hamstrings, but more use the roller as a lever to lift up and relax down, up and down. One more time. Now bend your knees to 90 degrees. Lift your hips up. Place the foam roller underneath your butt. And we'll get prepared to march. As you're marching, one knee up at a time. We want to feel that hamstring stretch and also that nice massage on our tailbone. Switch to bent leg bridge. Hips come up, foam roller goes back to your feet, butt comes all the way down to the ground to feel that stretch. Hips come up and down, up and down. One more time, up and down. And go ahead and straighten your legs. Maybe go ahead and sit up, big stretch forward, and we'll adjust these foam rollers one last time. So now, come back as low as comfortable, all right? It's probably gonna be that starting position that you had, but if you can even go a little bit lower, that means we're making progress with how flexible our spine is. So I'm gonna lay back. Make sure the foam rollers are vertically stacked. As you can see, my head support got in the way a little bit, so I'm just gonna reset that. Foam rollers are vertically stacked. Feel them instead of looking at them. And then after I lay back, I can apply my neck support. Again, this neck support is going to be very important, so go ahead and make sure you use the right thickness of pad to provide comfort for your body. As I lay back, relax with arms out wide. Should already feel that big stretch along our spine. Starting with the straight leg bridge. Lift your hips up and down, hips up and down. Nice and gentle, relaxing into the floor is the focus. We just lift up to take pressure off, drop down, up and down. Now bend your knees to 90 degrees. Lift your hips up, place the foam roller underneath your butt, and go ahead and march one knee up at a time. So what we're really doing with our spine throughout this decompression sequence is we're creating waves of spinal extension and flexion, which is going to create traction and decompression for a healthier spine. After we march, we move to our bent leg bridge. Lift your hips up, push the foam roller back to your feet, butt's going to come all the way down to the ground. Now gently tuck up and down. Remember, it's just a few inches off the ground. We don't want to lift our entire spine up. As we do our bent leg bridge, gently tuck up, relax down, up and down. A few more. Feeling that nice stretch each time through our hips and spine. Straighten your legs, make sure the foam roller is underneath your knees, and you can sit up with a big stretch forward. That is the end of our decompression sequence and the end of the Aimsworx instructional video for spinal self-care for chiropractic patients at home. Feel free to do this technique as long as you like, but just 4 sets is a good place where you can really start to feel some benefit. Remember to have your neck pad and your cervical support as much as you need, and with time, start to try and progress by taking a little bit more of that cervical support off. All right, thanks for joining us. Use this Aimsworx self-care spinal hygiene program at home. It'll be very helpful in conjunction with your chiropractic care to take care of your back pain.